Afternoon, LLG. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. Here we educate, we empower, and we encourage you to take charge of your health, your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. Here we are on another check-in. That's right. And I am now 48 hours. That's right, 48 hours on the end of the second day of the 72-hour fast. And many of you have been with us. You fasted on the first day, day one, or you fasted on day two, and now is the conclusion of your 24 hours. And I am so excited and so proud of you that you've made a decision to take charge of your health and that you are doing what you need to do to improve your metabolism and improve your overall wellness. Those of you who fasted yesterday or Monday, Tuesday into yesterday, congratulations to you as well. And you're there, and you've got this now. It's under your belt. And for those of you who just ended the fast, kudos. Lots of streamers and balloons and noisemakers and all those types of things to applaud you for the decision that you've made to take charge of your health. Now, there are some of you who you've been kind of watching and you've been waiting, and you're like, okay, do I do this? Do I do this? I got my stuff ready. I've got my last meal ready, and I have created the correct environment. I've talked to my family, my friends. I understand what's going to happen in the fast. I know where I'm heading. I know what those milestones are. I know why I'm doing this. And so I've got my why, and I've got my mantras. I've got my stuff that's going to support me as I move through the fast. And you are ready to jump in. This is your time right here, because we're about to get into our third day, or the third leg of the fast. And I'm so excited that you've decided to join me in this space. So if you fasted on day one, I want you to put a 1. If you fasted on day 2, put a 2. If you are doing day 3 right now, go ahead and put a 3 in the comments. And of course, those of you who are doing a total fast, a complete fast, and you're doing that with me for 72 hours, go ahead and put a T in the chat, in the comments. And then of course, all of you, I invite you this evening as we do our check-in at 9 o'clock to talk about, so at that point I'll be 56 hours, I guess is what it is, so that we can talk through that process. Lots of good information that we'll have there. For our community members, remember we have our community meetup at 7 p.m. Central tonight, so that Zoom link will be coming out in the member area here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you join us so that we can have some time there. We do some coaching, we do some conversations. Come with your questions, come with your the things that you want us to kind of talk about as we try and talk about helping you move in the direction that you need to move so that you can continue to be healthy. Hey Cornelia, how are you doing? She said, hello, Dr. Woode, with an E. Thank you for coming through. And so make sure that you join us. If you are not a member, this is a great opportunity for you to become a member, right? Because we do a community meetup once a month on the 4th Thursday of every month, unless there's a scheduling change. And also, you get access to the community when we do our shows. So after we do our check-ins at night, we do our shows. Then we have a after the show meetup. And so you get to come there, and we talk a little bit more, go a little deeper sometimes on the show that we've just had, talked about what your takeaways are, and also helps to set you up for success as we move through the rest of the week. That show's going on there. Okay, so once again, there should be a link somewhere that says join the community. Come on out and hang out with us. The other thing I want, if you have something, and you guys, if you were with me on Tuesday, you saw what I ate to start the fast, right? What was the last meal that I had to start the fast? You saw that on Tuesday. We're in the fast now, and if you have some suggestions of what you want me to eat to break the fast tomorrow, this is the time to put it in. Because I'm going to be, over the course of the rest of today, this evening, tomorrow morning probably, we'll be going out to get the things that I'm going to eat for breaking the fast. So if you got some recommendations, you got some suggestions, you got some things you want me to try, go ahead and pop it into the chat. And remember, those things that I'm going to eat, they have to fall into the balanced bites, right? So the balanced bites idea. So whole foods, minimize processing, no added sugar, starchy, non-starchy vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats, portion controlled, and tasty. Notice the last one has to be tasty. It's got to taste good, y'all. Yeah. So we have two things that we ate last week. One, of course, I do a salad for most of the things I do, and that salad that I've been eating is a recommendation from Pam, who's one of our community members. And then last week we had salmon we had jerk salmon with spinach. One of our community members said kale, but I did garlic lemon spinach. So we did the garlic lemon spinach as the bed, and on top of that we had the jerk salmon, and it was delicious. And Cornelia, who's out there, it was so delicious that actually, so my wife, unbeknownst, so we went shopping. So I was shopping for the weekend, but also for the show. And later on, she texted me and said, "Hey, I got some salmon." Right? So we had two sets of salmon at the house. And so after I finished cooking the salmon for the show, we broke the fast, ate the salmon, and then my family and I ate that salmon. And then I created more salmon, and we did a bunch of jerk salmon. So we have some jerk salmon. I can still use that for tomorrow, but if you have a suggestion, a recommendation, go ahead and pop that in the chat, because we will try as we can to get that in. And then of course join us, right? So to see what I'm going to eat, right? Because that's a fascinating conversation that we will have as we move into that space. So we've been talking this week and last week about the seventh pillar of our health action plan, and that is structure and planning. And so even here, as I am in this space, right? So I was in the office on Thursdays. So we have meetings usually throughout the week. Thursdays is our executive meeting. And so I was in the office, we were having that meeting, and one of my team members came and said, "Hey, are you doing your video? Are you going to go do your video?" So notice that the structure and the planning is of such that even the people around me, right? And this is talking about my personal fasting. This has nothing to do with what the practice does or what they're doing, but they are so in tune with my structure and my plan that they come and say, hey, it's about that time for you to go do your video. Of course, they want me to do this so I can come back and see patients, but you get the idea, okay? And so the point I wanted to make there was that there are times when you've created a structure and you yourself are kind of the plan, something has happened and your motivation is not there, or there's some other issue that's going on and your mind is taken to that issue. If you have the plan in place, if you have the structure in place, if you've been consistent, that other people now are helping you to maintain your momentum. And that's what just happened a little while ago, right? One of my team members came to the meeting, said, "Hey, knock, 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 knock. Hey, are you going to do your video? Are you going to do your check-in?" Right? And once again, it has nothing to do with what she's doing or her personal life. This is my fasting. This is my plan. This is what I do. And so she was able to knock and say, "Hey, it's that time." And so that for me is amazing, because that points out the benefit of having not just community, right, but the structure within the community, so that the community is beneficial to you. And so as you are working on your week, right? So we talked about how to create a health week, how to create a health plan for the week so that you're successful. And the plan, well, let me. The reason I'm pausing is because often we think of the plan as, and I'm going to use the word restrictive. We think of the plan as a restrictive place. Well, I can't do this, or I can't do that. Even when I talk about the guardrails, right? When we talk about the limitless living health action plan, is a set of blueprints, Right? It functions as a blueprint, it functions as a checklist, and also it functions as guardrails. And so when I talk about guardrails, sometimes people see the guardrails themselves even as restrictive. But the guardrails really are there so that if you go off course, you bounce into it and it bounces you back. It's like kind of the railing on the porch or on the steps. It's not there to restrict you. It's actually there to help and keep you safe. Oh, actually, I just came up with that one, right? The safety of the guardrails, right? So we talk about bumping into them, but there's safety in the guardrails. And so the things that we're doing, if we're going to continue to be successful, we want to make sure that we put those structures in place because they are so powerful. Not just for they function as cues as well. Okay, so if I'm going, imagine, right, 1 week now since we've been doing this, that I'm going through the week and Tuesday comes and I don't start my fast, and now it's Wednesday and I didn't start my fast. My brain even will say, "Hey, we're not sure what happened, but something is different, right?" Because there is the routine that I've gotten into of doing this, and so you want to get into the routine so that this is no longer an if. It's no longer an if. It is that it is what I do. It is who I am. It is a part of me now. And Cornelia just put it in the chat. She says she loves the safety of the guardrails. Yeah, safety of the guardrails. I just came up with that, Cornelia, just now as I was talking here. So, and that's the beauty, right? So one of the things, so once again, if you are not in our community, you want to make sure you join there, because one of the things that we talk about, and I see Cornelia out there, is we talk about the connections that we make. Sometimes the process of being in the space, the process of fasting, the process of walking through the Limitless Living Health Action Plan, there are connections that we begin making that we would not normally make. And the light bulbs go on. And there are things that you may have been struggling with for a while. There are things that you may have not been able to get a handle on or get traction in. And all of a sudden, somebody says something over here, or someone comments something over here, or you see somebody doing something over here, and all of a sudden, that's the thing that you need. That's the very thing that you need to push you in the direction of you yourself getting traction in that part of your life. And that's the beauty of the community. The community gives us the power. It gives us the encouragement. It gives us the space, if you will, to be able to walk successfully down the path. I said, there's another one that just came up with Cornelia, the path. See, look at that, right? So I am always looking for ways of explaining to people. I love that, because I'll tell you, when I first started the whole idea of communication, okay, and this is going back to personal communication, right? Interpersonal, in a speaking in terms of a bunch of people, but interpersonal communication. My idea was, I told you what I want. I said it, and it's your job to get it. I said the words, and you can interpret that however you want, but it's your job to pick up and get what I wanted. I now, though, believe that true communication is when I, as the person who is explaining, or the person who is trying to convey something, is able to find the way to help you understand it. And so when you hear me talking, you'll hear me giving examples, you hear me telling stories, you'll hear me making connections. And the reason for that is when something connects with you, I want you to get this. When something connects with you, the light bulb goes on and it becomes a non-issue. You've been struggling for years with weight. You've been struggling for years with metabolism. You've been struggling for years with blood sugars. You're having complications from diabetes. and some idea which could be totally unrelated to the space where you're having your struggle. Going whitewater rafting and falling out of the raft, being under the raft and realizing that I could not breathe, but holding on to the raft for dear life, thinking that it was the thing that was going to help save me. But the more I held on, the more I stayed under the raft because it was on top of me. And my lungs began to burn. And I realized I didn't know where the rapids were going to take me, but I knew I couldn't stay in that position. And so I had to let go. And when I let go, not only literally in that space, but also figuratively in so many areas of my life, that one connection that I had that had nothing, absolutely nothing related to my metabolism, to my health, to my diabetes or my blood sugar or my weight, that one decision or that one connection changed everything for me. And that's the beauty. As you continue to learn and expand and be open to the possibility that I can be different, I can be better than I am right now. That's the growth mindset. That says, all I have is not just what I see. I can learn, I can evolve, I can change. And when you're open to that and that point comes and that connection is made, yeah. And so I want you to continue striving and moving. And that's what Limitless Living says, that we're not letting anything, nothing from out there or nothing from in here, prevent me from doing what I need to do. I'm showing up with my best self, my best health, and my best plans. You don't need to go make some plans and come. You don't need to go change who you are to come. You don't need to get better health to come. You come as you are, because right now that's the best that you got. And from there, from that space, from that position, we move forward. One of the things I do at the end of our, we're doing the Strength, Strategy, and Mindset series right now in the morning. If you've not joined us, make sure you join us. It is a powerful, literal strength training, but also in terms of my thoughts and in terms of your thoughts. So one of the things I do at the end of the end of the show, the episode, is I do what's called the grounding exercise. And the grounding exercise says that I am going to, and I'm going to back up a little bit. So I'm seated right now. And sometimes if you're off balance, if things are not going well, then we find ourselves at odds, right? Out of sorts. But in the space where I'm lifting, right? I'm doing curls, I'm doing presses, I'm doing cross-body leg extensions, I'm doing dead bugs, I'm doing lateral raises. I need a firm foundation. I need solid ground beneath me to be able to do that. Because if I'm not, then I'm off balance. But the form doesn't work right, I can hurt myself. And so the grounding exercise in that space says, hey, I tell people, feet shoulder width apart, activate the core. Now let's go ahead and get into the exercise. Right, that's the idea, physically, right there. But emotionally, mentally, in all other areas of our lives, if we can get our grounding, come on now, if you can stand on solid ground, if you could find good footing, if you can get this to trigger in your mind that, okay, I'm good here. I'm solid. I'm on solid foundation. I may not know where I'm going, what I'm doing. I may not know anything else, but I know from here, I have the ability to move forward. So find your footing, find your grounding. And a wonderful way to begin moving in that space is what we're doing, and that's called fasting. Because it has ramifications for metabolism, improving insulin resistance, reducing weight, decreasing blood sugar, improving fatty liver, lowering blood pressure, lowering cholesterol, helping to resolve polycystic ovarian syndrome, minimizing the possibility or decreasing the risk factors for heart disease and strokes, improving inflammation, strengthening your immunity. Those are all metabolic and health related issues. But not just that. It has the ability right now to help you in the emotional state. How to problem solve. How to deal with the things that are in my mind that seem to push me in directions that I don't want to go. Yeah. How to help me interact with people that are unlike me. How to function in life on the terms that I've chosen and not the terms that life's giving me. All of that comes with fasting because we're on solid foundation. This is the base. I talk to people about form, focus, foundation. Form, focus, foundation. Are you practicing correct form? Are you in the process of learning the right way of doing things? Or is it just a crapshoot? And are you focused? Or is your attention being drawn to, we're here and there and there and there? Now, there is, some people say, well, I'm doing a lot of things. Well, yeah, but are you being successful in those things? We can do a lot of things, but if we are trying to get in a direction, let's focus there. So am I doing the right things? I have the right form. Have I learned what I'm supposed to do? Am I focused? Is my attention there when it needs to be there? And do I have the right foundation? Have I created the base? Have I done the work of making sure that as I build now, that the stuff that's down here that's supporting me is strong enough to take me not just tomorrow or the next day or the next week, but is it there and is it strong enough to take me over the long haul? That's why the Limitless Living Health Action Plan is so powerful. It's not a diet. Come on. It's not a fad. It's not a challenge. It is the way I now see myself. It is a part of me. This is how I relate to life. This is how I relate to food. This is how I relate to my health. I'm laying the foundations for what I'm going to be doing tomorrow and the week after that and the month after that and next year and the year after that and the year after that. This now is me. Beautiful. I love it. And this is the Limitless Living Health Action Plan is the functional health arm of Limitless Living. It is the blueprint that says, hey, I look at the picture of what I want, and I look at the blueprint, and if I follow what the blueprint says, my picture is going to look like what it looks like on the box. Come on, guys. For people who don't read the instructions, right? You get it? I look at the box and say, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like, and then you start working. Blueprint. I get this if I follow what this says. It is a set of guardrails. And the guardrails are there so that when you go off course, notice the word I said, when you go off course, because it will happen, when you're not on the path and you bounce into the guardrail, it brings you back and says, okay, I've gone too far, and it brings you back. Guardrails. If I follow the guardrails, if I stay within the guardrails, then I stay on the path. It is a set of checklists Like on the airplane. When the pilot comes on, the pilot goes and checks through the list, make sure all the different components are working. And if we go through the checklist, the likelihood that we leave over here and get to our destination increases. But if we don't do the checklist, the chances of getting over there safely goes down. Please, pilots, when you get on the plane, do the checklist. I don't want to see you rushing in, closing the door, grabbing the yoke, and taking off. No. And the connection that we've just made just a little while ago is that on the banister, on the porch, going up and down the stairs, the rails are for safety, y'all. They're not there to restrict you. They're not there to take away your freedom. They're not there to break your joy and take away your spontaneity. It is there for safety. Just made that connection right here. And I love it. And so fasting is one of the pillars, one of the foundational items in the health action plan. And we'll talk about fasting in other areas. So if you've been following me and you've been seeing me our Limitless Living lecture series, go ahead and watch some of those shows, because we're talking about limitless living in so many different areas. The next thing you'll see is limitless living on the go, right? What does limitless living look like on a regular? Not here in the studio, not behind the cameras and the lights, but every day when nobody's watching. What does limitless living look like? Because it is an amazing process. And you get ready? So structure and planning. It takes structure and it takes planning. You can be so successful in your health, in your finances, in other areas of your life, if you have structure and if you got a plan. The two most valuable things that we own are our time and our health. Our time and our health. And if we're going to maximize them, both, if we're going to maximize the ability to have this body, our mental health, our physical, have this body, if we're going to maximize that, then there has to be a plan for what we're going to do about it. It's kind of like your car, right? And they tell me, well, I'm bad on cars, by the way. They tell me I'm supposed to change my oil at times. I'm supposed to get the tires rotated and balanced. Right? I'm supposed to get the brakes looked at. There is a plan. And the manufacturer says that if you do this, then the likelihood of this vehicle lasting as long as possible goes up. There has to be a plan. If we're going to get the best, the most out of our time, there has to be some structure and there has to be a plan. There are 1,440 minutes in a day. 1440. And most of us don't use any of that time for planning for our health and for planning for our success personally. Most of it is given away to other people and other places. The most valuable thing you own, your time and your health. Are you taking care of your health? And are you managing your time well? And here in this space, we are fasting, right? So that's one of our time. So if you fasted with me on the first day, I want you to put 1. If day 2, put 2. Day 3, put 3. And if then, of course, for the total fast, I put 4, but no, you're going to put a T for total. 72 hours. Coming back tomorrow as we do our check-in, as we get to the end of this week's fast for another 72 hours. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we have our community meetup with our community. So if you've not joined the community yet, make sure you do that. That link will show up in the member area here on the YouTube channel. There should be a button down there somewhere that says join. Make sure you join us and be part of that amazing process. We'll do our check-in at 9 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, we'll do our complete review of fasting, how to prepare for the fast, get through the fast, and how to end the fast. And you get to see what I'm going to eat for the first time in 72 hours as I break my fast. If you have some suggestions, some recommendations, drop those in the comments. Send me a message, DM me, send me a picture or something as we get ready for that process. Hey, I'm always glad that when I'm with you. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we're living limitless lives, which says that we're not allowing anything, nothing from outside or nothing from inside, to prevent me from doing what I need to do. I'm showing up with my best self, my best health, and the best plans for my life. I'm breaking through the boundaries. I'm pushing through the borders. I'm pushing through those obstacles, and I'm breaking out of the confinements. And I'm going to be the best that I can be. Go live a limitless life, and we'll see you at our next episode. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.